Good evening, good evening. Welcome to our live Facebook. That's right. This is the Wednesday night and it's 2nd of August. Getting very interesting, and I do hope that you all had a nice dinner, and I have prepared something for you tonight. And of course, I'd like to welcome all our members, all our TradingHigher premium members, as well as some of our public who have joined us or maybe found this website by chance. And tonight we will be talking about something more closer to our heart, which is the KLSE market, right? Of course, some of you who are the very experienced trader may find something that is very beneficial to you. And of course, for those of you who are beginner, this is definitely one way to explore how TradingVSA and our software analytics flagship able to help you that. So without further ado, do share this video on Canva and give me a thumbs up if you're doing a great job. And for tonight, welcome everybody. Welcome to a special talk tonight. And tonight we will be talking about the small cap stocks. Okay, the small cap stock for the KLSCI or KLSC, or prefer call it as the Bursa. That's right, the Bursa Malaysia small caps, so we call it SE, small cap. And it's time to look at them again. Now, why is it? Because it's a nice last 7 months that we've been going through. And some of you may wondering, why are you talking about small caps? You know, we should be looking at the US market. And that's what you were talking about, Martin, last week, isn't it? But I do find that there are opportunity in the smaller cap stock, especially some of those of you who are in the smaller capital outlay, may not have the big amount that you want to trade the Malaysian market. So this is definitely one way to look at it, but definitely going to share some insights that we have from our analytics, how it can benefit you going forward. Now, if you have any question, feel free to pencil in and do share this video in your timeline. Really appreciate that. And let's get going, shall we, right? So tonight, the sharing is what's been happening to the KLSE with respect to the small cap stocks, because tonight we're talking about small cap stocks, so this is one topic that you will find it very interesting. And where are the trades available? Now, of course, many of you may have heard before, the small cap stock is definitely one of those very volatile stocks, and definitely you do not want to be holding them, isn't it, right? And why are you talking about? At one point, Martin, you were talking about fundamental shares, but that's good. Fundamental is good for what we call the beginner type of level, but of course the stock market is always filled with many choices. And tonight, I want to give these choices to you. For those of you who think that the small cap step is suitable, you might want to check us out. Or with the VSA 360, you can always try out the free trial that we have in here. And also testing the Pentagon Guider for profitability. Because in the breakfast show that we do every Monday and Friday, I talk about the profitability. So this time, we're going to be testing how profit it can be. And where are the trading opportunity right now? I'm going to share with you one stock that is happening right now and actually doing this trade in here. And I'm going to sum it up in closing, and hopefully we will get off everything before 10:30 in here. Now, of course, let's look at the market where we are so far by just doing a comparison in here. As of last week, I've talked about the KLCI, which you can see FLIQ. Q is the code for the futures, and we are down just from the futures, from I think the last index I had here was a couple of days ago on the first few days of January. The market is coming back, minus 1.4%. At one point, we were even worse off, right? I think the political situation has improved. Now, remember, some of the past week, those of you who came, you will notice SET is a stock exchange of Thailand, and they were pretty much in par with Malaysia. When Thailand is minus 6%, we were minus 5%. But we all know, right, what is happening to Thailand right now? What do you think? Right, the Thailand is still going through the appointment of the Prime Minister, right, where the Pita Lim was sort of being kicked out, and they don't have anybody yet, and it's been very quiet. And lucky for us, our economy cannot survive without the Prime Minister, which we had last year. Then we have the General Election 15 in here, and also coming this month, that's right, on the 12th, I believe 10 more days from now, we will have the state election for the 6 states that we're going up. So make sure you stay back and go for election. Now, how many of you are going for election? If you're going for election, just type state election. So make sure we are doing our duty as responsible citizenship in here, to vote for the party that we felt better represent us and give us the benefit in here. And I think just let me know those of you who will be staying back, and that's it. Because why is this important is that the state of the stock market that you see here, the orange one, which is currently minus 1.4%, really depend a lot on the political situation. Like you see in here, Thailand is the worst exchange in the world before, but that's, to me, it's temporarily, because once they have a prime minister appointed, now that will be a challenge here, then the market will move up. Then STI is up 2.55%. That's the orange one. Now, of course, they also talk about STI, the Singapore, are going through recession. You all know that, right? Everything is very expensive. Someone just came back from Singapore, told me, the average hotel room is about 300 Sing dollar. Even the lousy ones, so 200 plus. So with your conversion to ringgit, everything is very expensive. So they are having difficult time right there. Then you have the best performer is the IDX. IDX 30 stand for the Jakarta or Indonesia Stock Exchange. In here, the indices up, and of course ahead in the big brother, up there in the cloud, flying up very high, is the Nasdaq. And of course, those of you who came since January, February, March, I've been focusing a lot on the US side. And of course, some of you who are hopefully who have heard some of my so-called pointers and education have put you up, where around that area there, at least the plus 30% and 20% on your portfolio. Or if you still have those trades going back far back as the 2022, and it does represent, will cover some of the stocks that we are talking about in here. Of course, let's now, as of 2nd of August, I do think that KLCI going forward with the imminent of the state election coming on the 12th, the KLCI will eventually catch up in here. How much, how far, but I don't think we will move too much to the positive. Even, really going up the last 2 days, if you notice, the KLCI has retreated. So I'm not going to cover them tonight, but you can follow me on the Friday breakfast show where I'll talk more of the daily market map. Now, last week, which is the last month of July, the market, I was talking about KLCI, will catch up. We started from almost a negative, going back to 4%, and then lo and behold, it's up now to 6%. So that has been one of the best performer. If you look back compared to 2020, where we have the crisis, we have the COVID crisis, that the market came back on the month of July, but always, as the month of August, not so good lah. So you can see right now, so you've been warned earlier on already, the KLCI right now is down 0.5%. Might be another 1% more, or just going to ding dong, but I do think for the month of August and September, has September break the egg already? Not September. The month of September, the KLCI been negative one. So the best time to buy for the year-end rally will be beginning of October. Keep in mind, I'll be talking about the seasonality, and this is really part and parcel of the VSA 360. So many of you would have known the seasonality play an important part on so-called timing your market in here. KLCI will fall back now, right? Just take note of it. It will fall back now, and that's why it's important for you to know some of these as part of your education. Now, these are some of the earlier slides that I've talked about, maybe a bit small, apologize for it, but let me just read it to you. Is the foreign funds outflow. Now, you notice early on from January, February, March, April, May, June, these are all negative returns. So a lot of foreign funds have flow out, but when the 12th of July, still remember that day we were doing the talk, where the CPI figures for the US market, which I talk about a lot in length, that came out and under 3%, right? The CPI was 3%, and the next one, it will be out on the 12th of August, so 10 more days, and we'll have to see whether that CPI figure is tending to 2.5 or maybe 2.3. That will be definitely good, and then you will likely to see this market continue to rally up higher, right? I think this interest rate thing I've been covering a lot, and many of you followed me, I've already explained. So you can see from here, some of the stocks that was previously been negative outflow, like public bank, again, when the foreign fund comes back, it's just going to play catch up in here. It's like a bathtub, when the foreign, a very small bathtub, like the one that you usually go in the hotel, you fill it up with water, right? And maybe you just go inside there, all right? And then suddenly, the foreign funds are like your friends, your party friends come in and jump into the same bathtub. What happened? all the water will spill out, right? And that's basically what we are seeing right now. The last 3 or 4 days, the foreign fund keep flowing. Now that the foreign fund already come in, it's time for them to sell. And I have to check the VSA 360, what was the net foreign fund, either they are inflow or outflow, but that is a telling sign or what's here. So of course, this year, the darling of the market has been IPO, right? And 2023 been the best place to be. So especially only technology, but in the property, it was doing worse. But remember, this cycle, the property has came back, and also construction. I don't know, no, from what I understand and read, it's because of the high-speed railway project that is going to be coming back. Ministry of Transport, Anthony Loke did mention in here, as well as the ECRL project that's upgoing. So a lot of property are going up. So if you are trading those property stock, take some profit. You don't want to be letting it run and so forth. All right. So that's something that you want to be noting. So IPO has been the best place. Definitely all those who have technology done pretty well in here, right? Netgate, well, TTVHP since the listing. But anyway, the listing price, it already jumped 100%. Okay. So some of those may put you in a very strong position here. So let's talk about small cap. Okay, small cap, SC, small cap. So how good are they? This is again from the age below 500 million in the past 3 months. You can see K Sing Sing Corp up 106%. Let's take a look on the Pentagon Guider. Okay, Pentagon Guider here. So I have this in here, and okay, so let's put KSSC, I think. Yeah. So this is a daily chart. I must switch on my pen. Yeah, I gotta turn it on here. Okay, yep, there you go. So you can see Kicksing was the month of October. Okay, month of October. January was already coming down. But if you look back, taking back the earlier part, this is where the market really moved up from 50 cent to $1 KSS usually. This was one of them. What's the other one? We said before. Maybe let's look at Air Asia. Right, playing a part on market recovery here. So Air Asia, and then we look at Air Asia. Air Asia is AX. Okay. Because the Air Asia is capital A. So you can see this one was a really big move. And you can see if you gone in somewhere in beginning of the year, was around 40 over cents. Now is $2. No, this has been a meteoric rise because of the rebound back of the passenger, and also the rationalization of they've been given a timeline to 30 days. That's why you saw this market rebounded back in here. But this is really a long trade. You have to fall with it and see how well the market will fare in here. And then the green Pentagon, if you have gone in, you catch this one with upthrust, it's time to chabot. Okay, yep, you don't want to wait for it to slam back down. Yeah, it might go back up, right? But it's good to always come back again and trade it again, as you see here. All right, another one is Tune, which is also part of the Tony Fernandez circles, right? Protect, you can see way from 26 cents here in December, November. Again, follow very similar like the parent. If you put in capital A, also very similar to this one, all same gang one. They push up the shares in here. All right, so Econ Power also went up 51%. So these are the few small cap stocks that has done well. So what's the formula here? Some of you may ask, all right, how do we look for them, and what is the strategy, right strategy going forward from here? So tonight, that's what the focus is going to be on, the small cap stock, how I would attack this angle using the tools that we have, which is the VSA 360, and use that in here correctly. So trading small cap stock. Now, I'm going to ask a question now to everybody here. Okay, I hope you'll reply. What have it been for you? All right, type it in there. Has it been easy for you, or is it been difficult? Give me the answer that you have here. Really appreciate it, right? What has this market trading the small cap stock, if you have been trading the small cap stocks, let me know. Type it in there. And how has it been easy, been volatile? I'd like to hear your comment, please. All right. Definitely many of you, or at least give me a thumbs up to know that you are staying awake and really following me in here. How has it been for you so far, right? I hope to hear some reply for the small cap stocks in here. Very shy, the audience, or everybody is still driving tonight. Okay, we have just one thumbs up here. Okay, how has it been for your small cap stocks? Okay, so generally I would find small cap stock, even on my part, I find it's not easy. It's like riding a roller coaster, isn't it, right? You know, the twist and turn, you know, like I just shared with you, KSS, the market can shoot straight up and we miss it, you come back down in here. So that has been, you know, compared to some of the fundamental FA stocks, which is a bit like this person up here, very slow, you know, like trading the calm waters. So riding the roller coasters have been very volatile, isn't it, right? So, yeah, we got Alexius, okay, so far. We only have one person replying in here, and we got close about over 40 people in here. Yeah, just give me how has trading the small cap stock the last 6 months has been for you. Share with me your thoughts over there. Okay, so tonight I'm going to share with you some strategy that I think will work for you. All right, okay. So small cap stocks. Now, where are the opportunity right now? Now, this again from TradingView in here, just looking at the overlay with our VSA indicator, you can see right now there is a support here, right? So we wait for a few more bars to come back in, and it was going to, sort of pull back and hold its level in here rather than not continue. That's the level that I'll be interested to look at, whether this market has still another leg to go, because a lot of the time the small cap stock usually move ahead of the KLCI when it's ready. If the year is going to be a good year, the small cap stock will generally do well. That's how I see this market, and there's a lot of opportunity. Of course, one of the way we use it, right, previously, is to search it in TradingView. Now, TradingView has this screener, right, generally looks at all the small cap stock. But the only thing I doesn't like about this is that they're looking at company that is very small, 2 million only, 7 million, 9 million, and anything that is below 100 million. Now, early on we talk about, you know, those who done perform well has the kind of volume is around 500 million or below 500 million over there. I'm so going to give you my definition of what is the small cap stock that you should be looking at, the kind of range that you have in here. So the definition of a small cap stock in Bursa, in my perspective, you want to avoid those pretty illiquid one. Is the 250 million to 450 million. You can take a picture of this one in here. Next, I prefer to trade those above 19 cents. That is definitely a must. And I prefer 50 cents and above. Those, if given a choice, I will trade those above 50 cents. And if not, 19 cents also can. Remember, the smaller the number, the more volatile it is. And you want to avoid the low floating shares. Now in the VSA 360, we have that figure, right? We want to have high floating shares around 70, more like 70% or more, more than 70% are floated, which means the business owner don't hawk it. But there are some, if you notice, if you go over VSA 360, you will see the floating shares turn yellow or red color. That means you have to be a bit more caution, because the business owner do hawk those shares. They hawk those shares, and because of that, they're very small amount being floated. They can control the prices. They can also manipulate. So keep that in mind when you want to look for some of these shares in here. Second, right, you notice also with the small cap stock that we have over the last 6 months or so, you can see from here, right, from January to August, it has been up down like a roller coaster, isn't it? It's not the the kayaking, right? It's a roller coaster, up and down. We went straight up, came back down, up 10%, down 8%, then up 4%, down 5%, then up 5%. Now, are we going to have another 5% down? So definitely, trading in and out has been very, very profitable. But what is the signal to trade out of it, right? And of course, some of our members who know use the Pentagon Guider will definitely give you in here. So to profit, you have to avoid the downswing, the negative 8% here, the negative 4%, the negative 5% in here, and another turn here too. So that's why we talk about this support here. If this support will prevail, we are looking for sign of strength, we are looking for tests, we are looking for spring, and if those come in together with Pentagon Guider, that's a very good, decent trade that we want to follow, right? And So what do you think? I'd like to hear from the audience here. Been very quiet. Does the buy and hold work for small cap? What do you think? Let me know, right? Yes or no? Okay, so at least I know you all are paying attention here. Okay, the small caps here. What do you think? Right? Does it hold for you? Buy and hold work or not? All right. Type 1, you think it works. Type 2 or no, it doesn't. All right. Let me know. All right. Okay, let's move on in here while I get some answers. If not, give me another thumbs up, right? Right, at least I do know that many of you are actually listening in here. Okay, yes, okay. Does buy and hold works? One, yeah, it does. Some people say yes. Okay, that's great. Right, some say okay. How about others other than Limoy? Okay, great. We got seeing more of you replying now. Some of you say yes. Okay, all right. Now, it all depends on how is your strategy in here, right? So what is the right strategy right now, right? The definition of small cap stock, we have to understand, and why you want to consider the trading the small cap stocks. Why it is? Some of you may like to hold from 40 cents and go through the volatility. Remember, we go up 10%, come down 8%, then go up 5%, then come down 4%. If you can stand the kind of volatility, I think that's a lot of good opportunity here. But I want to share you another way how to trade through this market. I think it's quite great potential in here if you use the right tool and the right strategy, if you consider. So one of the benefits of a small cap stock is the quantum of the return, and that's why also many people like it, because a smaller amount. For example, if you go from 20 cents to 22 cents, it gives you a 10% gain compared to a stock that is 5 ringgit going to 5 ringgit 10 cents, only give you a 2%. So on that basis, with the same amount, the quantum of the return is higher. But more significantly is when you buy the or trade the small cap shares, you need to pay attention to the analyst coverage. You will find very little analyst coverage in here, due to the instability of the stock, or usually the stocks, as I said before, the floating shares are not there, so there's no transparency. And in order to benefit this one, you really have to buy, hope, and sort of pray, the owner don't close up, because a lot of small cap stock can die one. No, seriously, right? Of course, there are some small cap stock can also go higher in here, but what's more important in here, this upside is because the institutional do not pay a lot of attention, or the analyst coverage is very little, and as such that some of this what we call the hidden gem, like the diamond, uncut diamond. And some of you who hold it long enough, I think your experience here made more than 100%, 200% gain, which is possible. 20 cent go to 40 cent. You can make that kind of amount, and that if that is the arrangement for you, I think that we find it very super, isn't it, for these small cap stocks in here. Right, so one thing you'll notice even on the Bursa website, the Bursa marketplace, you can try it, right? And if you go to the analyst consensus in here, most of the coverage are the bigger company that are well known. And like you can see, 100% buy call, Yinsun. This is dated the 20th of June, I think. I wonder why they give us June, so late already. Now it's already August. Everything also fly already. Yinsun, 74% are buy recommendation is Kajaya Prospect, covered by 7 analysts, right? And Finance was a buy call, Hong Leong and CIMB were covered by 5. Many are bearish on healthcare with 42% on it, recommended to sell. And within this sector, they're bullish on IH. Top Glove recommended the 71% sell call. From this was 20th June. So if you look at the Top Glove, let's look at Top Glove on sell call. Okay, Top Glove. And what was it? That was it 20th of June, right? So you look at 20th of June. 20th. We are almost at the base here when the sell recommendation came, right? So after the base idea, what happened? The market turned green pentagon within about 2 or 3 weeks. Usually that's the case, because when everyone has sold already, because the analysts say don't buy, and people who usually want to cut loss also cut loss already, then the market, there's no more what? There's no more sellers, right? So when no more sellers, little bit of volume sure push the bugger run one. And that's what we are seeing right now. You can see here, right? So use the analyst less coverage, especially those of you who are trading the heavy stocks or the big cap stocks as a strategy. When they recommended sell, you already reached the bottom in it. Remember that was 20th 20th of June, which is here, 20th of June, that was the base here, right? And then it came, you can see this support over here, right? And then the market start to turn up. You can see green pentagon. We pick it up very nicely here, right? Overtake the upthrust on this bar in here. I think it's very similar. So for Hatta Lega, for those of you who is looking at the rubber glove, you can see this was 3rd of July. The 20th was this bar here, 16, 17, yep, 20th. Right, so no coincidence why the market actually market moves back higher in here. And check out, go to the Bursa marketplace and look for the analyst coverage. When they talk about sell or when they talk about buy, those counters, check out the chart first before you do it. So I hope that does help you in some ways of looking into it in this market in here. So also in our live Facebook, we talk about some of the big winners, and you'll notice many of this, like the Silver Ridge. That was one trade that we did for our members. We told them this is a conman share because you can see 2 bar. You can look at Silver Ridge. Okay, this one is when the market goes up and then just nice the bugger sell down one. You can see from this one here, you can see 1 bar sell down. So very dangerous one. You go up 1 bar sell down, 1 bar sell down, another one double top here, right? Sell down, and then another one sell down. Now this one is going to go Holland already because a lot of distribution in here. I think you remember the CS form. There's another one. Form first. I think CS form. The Malaysian company one. The one do computer form one. I think. Yeah. Anyone remember? Those of you remember, let me know. The member there. The form one. Apa nama itu company? So cannot remember already. It's a penny share, straight up, and then finally come back down. If you remember, let me know. The company with the form one. Computer forms. Is it computer forms? Computer form. Okay, never mind. If any of the members or the public, let me know. I'll be happy to check it out. CFM, that's right. Okay, CFM. Okay, computer form, right? You can see, yeah, this is what I talk about here, right? So after, you can see from here onwards, after the red pentagon, there's no green pentagon, so it prevented you from buying. That's why we always tell people, and when the market is really high in here, you have to be very careful. And then when the market slam back down, worse off than it is, 16 cents, right? This one, definitely I believe smart money uses as a pretense to distribute all the way down. Right, so these are the kind of thing that we need to be very, very careful. Right, we don't want to fall into it. Right, especially when you buy small cap stock, there is a point that you were likely to. So I'm going to share with you a strategy that I use right later on in here, how you can avoid that. Right, so you can see Silver Ridge. Every week on the green pentagon, there's Wellspire. Okay, Wellspire was a good stock. We pick it up too. Excel Force up 39%. Jetson up 29%. SMRT up 27%. And these are all measured in about 2 months' time. Now, why we do that is because there is a correlation that certainly a certain stock don't go all the way up. So those of you who say buy and hold for the small cap based on our strategy of testing, very few of them really works. Mostly of them after 2 months are all dive down. So just keep that in mind, right? Why the reason I say this? Because, if you are trading against odds, which is, buying a stock that can double 120%, but many times just don't double it here, right? And you can see from Wellspire went up to 86% eventually. You can see 14th of June to 28th of June. This one went up to. So if you look at right, this one is one of the earlier IPO, I think. Well with an S, I think. Wells with an S. Wellspire. There. IPO and after see boom all the way. This one then today up 3%, up from 40 cents, already up 100% already. So you can see in here, some people like to trade this. That's fine. If you trade this, just be a bit careful. Be ready to chow because you're going to have a slam down come back in. There's another stock just got listed, day 3. Let's take a look. I think, yeah, day 3. Okay. Oh, this one tank. This one tum. Wow, this one down 12%. Then tank a lot. 7%. I thought this one will go up. Not that tells you not many of them will survive. 49 cents. Okay, it's down 24%. I think the listing price about 30 cents. Yeah, 30 over cents. Still make money, right? If you buy the IPO. But how many of us will have a chance to buy IPO? If you have any small cap stocks, you want me to comment, let me know. I'm just going to keep going in here. It's already 10 o'clock. So the challenges of the small cap stock, whether you trade higher or not, we have to be careful. Because of the volatility, and many of you, when you're trading a small cap stock, your capital generally are quite small, maybe 10,000, 50,000, you know, you're not going to have very big amount. And because of that, you tend to over leverage. You want to silang. I do have people come in and yeah, ice cream. Yeah, we're going to check that one later on. Great. Keep them in mind. Those small cap stocks you want me to check out, just put it out there. And usually people, you know, we come in like 5,000 ringgit. They want to make it to 20,000. So 5,000 go to 20,000 is how many percent? It's almost 400%, right? So 400% return is very difficult in the first year if you are beginner. So a lot of them over leverage. Eventually the 5,000 or so burn, don't have. Right, and also look at the daily volume. Turnover liquidity is important in here. So that is one of the driving force why you want to. So what trading strategy to do? Okay, now definitely the first one you can use is the Smart Robie Pentagon Guider. Quite limited in here. We pick certain stocks that have a good certain value, but it's a good beginner for the uptrend stage 2 beginner. That's a breakout share on the what we call Pentagon Guider. Alright, then you have the momentum one, stage 2 continuation, the uptrend. It's available in the Smart Robie tab menus, ST2. That's the one over here. And then for the more advanced one, for our members, they can use the pullback method that we use, which we actually use. I think I shared with you early on. You wait for the Pentagon Guider pull back up. Couple of days later, you see whether there's a pullback, or you can use the 18-day line change and then let it pull back. Then only you go in. So those are another way to find those kind of shares in here. All right. So some people see money, they'll take money trading. What does that mean? See money and take money trading, right? Does that ever happen to you? Have you experienced things like this before? See money and take money trading, right? They just put whatever stock they hear from a friend or their broker tell them they put the money 4%, 3% they take already. That is see money, take money. So see money, take money strategy, what is it about? Actually, it's a strategy you've been controlled by people. See money, take money, because they are so on the edge of their seats. They are so emotionally involved in that trade. Again, maybe the amount is small, around 5,000 or 10,000 in here. So whenever they see money, they want to take it money, right? So you never know who is behind it. You know, that's why it's important to read the chart, use the Smart Robie apps, use the VSA 360 to find out what are the smart money are doing. Just like what we talked about Silver Rich earlier on, right? Goes up, double top, then slam down one. They have that. One more akan datang, look at well, also same thing. So if you have well, right, there will be certain fundamental story that you like to keep it. Because once you make 100%, they say, why not another 100%, 200%, right? But remember, the odds are stacked against you in here. Take money, see money, all right? But at the same time, have a strategy to study how far can this market go. Perhaps you want to monitor it or take a little bit of profit on the way up. So trading strategy is important in here. Now this is, what do you see up here? Can someone tell me? What does this look like? Okay. What does this look like to you? Right? It is a Cessna 172 checklist. So before, right, you fly a plane or a smaller aircraft, a lot of these beginner pilot or even more experienced will do a checking, right? All right. Now remember, when you trade, your first trade, or even those of you who are very, very experienced, do you have a checklist like the pilot has? What do you know? Let me know on the comment below. Do you have a what we call a trading checklist? What are the things that you do, right? I'm sure out of the 10 people out there, more than 50% of people don't have a checklist. So the question is always, a pilot has a checklist because they know where to avoid the emergency, what are the safety procedure in here, and boils back to, if the pilot is unprepared or not well trained, would you fly with him one? That is precisely when you trade the small cap stock. You are trading a very volatile environment and you're not well trained. You don't even have the right tool. So you use the see money, take money strategy, end up eventually you'll crash your plane. Not good, right? But the people say, never mind, it's my own money, right? But after a few rounds, you will decide, hey, I don't want to lose money anymore. When I see all those stock that goes up, where is the opportunity in here? So have a checklist, and this is something I want to share with the members in here as well, some of you in here. One of the checklists is actually using our VSA 360 Pentagon guider in here, which I talk about in the breakfast show in the Friday in here. So the Pentagon guider, it's a very simple beginning of stage 2 shares in here, and what we want to look out for is basically looking at the LT, the LT when it's purple and green, and those that is red, we avoid it. Why I bring up this share? Because this is the trade that is happening yesterday, and actually I did this trade I'm going to share with you also, which is V Solar. All right, V Solar is at 26.5 cents here, and LT is up almost 300%. No problem, the far higher you go better, but we also have to see from a chart basis in here. Okay, so let's read this about, and what I want to go through is go through the columns. So we want to be selecting stock that is LT, is green or purple, so it is above support or bullish momentum. And if you have the VSA 360, use this as your indicator. We want to make sure that LT, the long-term percentage, is minus 0.5, above minus, which means it started to turn up and go higher. And then the ST is above minus 5, which means the overall trend, the longer term trend, is turning from bearishness to bullishness into the positive area, but your short-term trend are turning even faster. So that way you will turn up, and this is where you want to catch major of the big move. I'm going to share with you through our back testing in here. We are able to pick up many of the good shares in here. Of course, not all of them make money. We are able to pick up many of them, and tend to do much better in here by just focusing on the ST and LT in here. Alright, so you'll notice all our VSA 360 chart has the ST short-term trend, the long-term trend, the price, the volume, turnover, and the industry. And the last one is the percentage still, which I talked about early on, how to use this, especially if you have the VSA 360, to look into the advanced pullback method. Alright, the advanced pullback method is the one that you let the stock turn green Pentagon first, allow it to flow a few days, you check out the percentage, don't be too high or too low, and look for the trade, and that's where you want to trade. I can tell you most of the time you are in a better position because you are buying pullback, good reward over smaller risk, right? Especially many of you have smaller account, that makes a lot of sense. Smaller risk, bigger reward. Is that what you all want? If is that what you want, give me a thumbs up, right? Because every night when I talk, I don't get much interaction, but at least I know when you put out a thumbs up, you all appreciate some of the sharing that I have for you in here. That will help you make you a better trader here. All right, so let's take a look at it, how the VSA 360 Pentagon guider. Now if you don't have one, I suggest you can get a free trial, all right, through us in here, and check it out. I think it will be very beneficial. So you go to the Pentagon guider, and I think now it's 10 o'clock, maybe the 2nd of August. Okay, I gotta log back in again. All right, so once I'm in, I go to the screener, right? And here we are, right? We are looking on the 2nd of June. Okay, first, okay, we do the first one first, then we do the 2nd June. Okay, you can see from here, we have only 4. Okay, only 4. So next thing we do, we put in the LT is the minus 0.5, right? You only left 2 only. So in this case, this one volume 2 liter, 399, 4,000, not so good. This one better lah. So V Solar lah was the trade that I did. Okay, let's look at it for tonight, 2nd of August. All right. So same thing that we do, we put the minus 0.5. You only left with 2. So you left with 6,000 and 6,900 shares in here. So SGMC. Okay, SCMC not too bad. You can see from here, if you can clear this one in here, you got the old resistance in here. That would be interesting to check out. The other one is, this one may be better. FIHB, right? Also turn green Pentagon here. All right, so those are your 2 stocks, which is usually in the smaller cap stocks. Smaller cap stocks, they are not technology based, but we can check out. Of course, you want to look for more, we can go over to SCGM, to the small cap stocks here. SCGM. Alright, and this is how the chart looks like. So you can see just turn green Pentagon. Who knows? You got an overhead resistance here, potential. You can analyze that. From here tomorrow, if you were to enter, you enter at the beginning of the green Pentagon. Sorry, the green Pentagon is this one. You go in on the opening. Okay, opening. You can see from here, we have upside only about 6% in here. The next one, we can also evaluate it, all right, is FIHM. Okay, FIHM. FIH, is it H? Apa nama itu? FIHB. Federal International Holding Berhad. Okay, now you look at this one here, also same. You got an overhead resistance here. Came back down lower in here. So out of the two, I prefer the first one, which is the SCGM. Okay, SCGM. All right, and what do? They are packaging, nothing very sexy. So these are the trade that I'll be looking at. All right. Now, how do I know this trade gonna work or not? So this is where we want to come to back testing. I'll introduce the word back testing in here. This is an exercise. Now for the V Solar, I got in just now on the day on 26. So I'll do another one. Okay, since we are already in there, so I'll just log into the in here, right? And I found out another stock which is SCGM. Okay, SCGM is 58 cents. So we'll buy SCGM. So I'm going to be buying 10,000 ringgit, 10,000. Let me just calculate that divided by how much is the price now, which is SCGM is here 585. 585. That gives me 17,000 shares. Okay, so 17,000 shares. Oh, I run out of margin because I was only given. Oh, this is a different share. So I got to go back to SCGM. Okay, still loading on the chart. Oh, I think I have to log in again. Okay. SCGM. Okay, here you go. Okay. How many shares? 17,000 shares. There you go. Maybe 17,100 shares. Okay. Yep. Buy that. Okay. So we got SCGM as the other shares that we bought. So every day we buy one share until we run out of money. Okay. So that's the key thing that we are doing in here. All right. So you buy 725 and you buy the V Solar in here. Okay. So after you done that, we keep it in here. There's another trade, Tune Pro. All right, which we got in on the 31st. Okay. This was bought on the 31st. So you can see this was during our training that we do. And generally we hold the trade about 5 days in this exercise. For this exercise, 5 days. So Tune. Okay, Tune Pro. Yeah, we got in a bit late. Remember, when the market came in, then you have a pullback, 1 bar pullback. We were hoping that it actually could hold, but Tune Pro came back down on the lower bound in here. We'll see how this market is, but I do think tomorrow it should stay here. If it does break 1 more bar, I think it's time to consider this trade not going anywhere. We'll see what. So we have expiration date for that one. I'm going to talk about. So the trade that we talk about is V Solar. We did another one, SCGM. So we need to know where's the stop loss too, right? Couple of ways to look at your stop loss. You can back test it just to give you a general idea. Let's say for V Solar, okay, V Solar. Okay, so you can see here, green pentagon was this bar here. Okay, but this one, you can see, I also don't know why this bar all 100% in here. But you look from here, this is actually the green pentagon. If you look back, the chart V Solar, I think there's some adjustment that is not right. So you can see from the green pentagon here, right? This is, we will put the stop loss at here around 22 cents. Okay, 22 cents, right? On our entry of 26 cents. Okay, which is actually a fair bit, I would say about 18% return because of this bar that shot straight up. But that's where we are looking at the 22% mark there. And if you do want to turn down, we might even cut even faster. All right, so just keep that in mind here. Okay, so next thing is we are trading. We are trading compared to buying and hold. We are not buying and hold. Some of these stocks, we really don't know what's behind it. The holding period, that it depends on the CV or back testing that we are doing. Now remember, we also have expiration period. Because small cap stock, we generally don't want to hold it for more than 30 days. So what we did is that we actually back tested it like the pilot simulation. So before you really fly an aircraft, we train through all our Pentagon and we go through a series of training. So what has turned up is like back testing. How many of you heard of this word called back testing? Let me know. Okay, we got another share to review. All right, Limoy. Okay, Padana. Have you heard of this thing called back testing? Now back testing is very important. It's like this time machine. Yeah, this one is from Back to the Future, right? For those of you who know, this is a Back to the Future, one of my favorite movie in here. So it's a time machine for stocks. Okay, so what it does is that you use this time machine and you see past performance. If you go back, because now we are doing for V-Solar, that's forward testing. Okay, we want to do forward testing first. Once we're okay, then we start using money. Okay, we then using money. So this is where we pretend how you make money through the entry and exit that we did. Now in this case, we go back to 1st of January. As if we trade every day, 1st of January, and how many trades, and based on MAU, all right? So from then onward, you learn from your past, all right? You learn from your past, okay? Not from you past. We learn from your past. And then what we do is we improve our trading strategy. See what fits. Is this holding for 15 days better, or we hold it for 20 days, or do we take profit when we see an uptrust? So those are the things that you want to do and backtest it. Because if you don't backtest it, it's like you cannot go back in the past and see it. Once you see it, then you have the very strong commitment to exit the trade if the trade don't work, rather than you see money, take money, or don't see money, keep it there. Don't see money, keep it there. That's where the problem lies, isn't it, right? So here, this is the point. So if you've done the back testing like we did here, right? This is from January 23rd to January 23. We have picked a couple of stocks. You can see there, Muhiba. We hold it for 15 days, which means 15 days we will exit. That's our expiration date. You can try for other dates. Then you can see if Muhiba, January 3rd of January, we make about 16%. And one was the date entry, 3rd of date start was the 3rd of January. So we can go and check out here. There will be winners, there will be losers. Muhiba. So you can see from here, Muhiba, that's right. So you can see Muhiba from the 3rd of January here. You can see, right? This bar here, the market really moved up. And if you look back, if you bought here and hold here, you have this really sideways market. Okay. So you can see from here going up, that's a huge, okay, from the entry of the bar, you go up to maximum here. That's a 45%. A 45% gain inside here. But remember, we only kept it for 15 days because we don't know. We turn our money, we go somewhere. That is the strategy that I'm testing. You can do other strategy definitely up to you what you fit well, but it's best that you back test it. So then we go over to the next trade. We did unique, we lost. But because we have a very tight stop loss, usually the stop loss is at the bar, the low of the Pentagon Guider or before the Pentagon Guider. So that's the thing they use. Yen-He, we lost. You can notice the gains we make big, the gains that we cut loss are small, right? And then we start. So every month, you can see when the month over, so from 3rd of January to the 25th, right, when the trade expires, we get our money back, then we trade again. So all in all, we're using $100,000 for our demonstration in here, right? And you can see you can use $10,000 if you trade. So this is the whole point. When you do the virtual trade, you can actually back test it and then forward test it. Once you do this complete cycle of back testing and forward testing, then you have the confidence to really trade the market in here. Another test, we started on the 6th of January. Using the Pentagon Guider, you can see from here, NASCOM 13%, 7%, then there's no trade here because some trades there's nothing that's satisfied. You can see here 14 also don't have, and here we hit a winner. That was Well. All right, Well came in on the 19th of May, right, which earlier I did show you. So that's the one, and this is the one that you happen to be there when you took your money. 27 you enter, 19 you exited, which is on top of my head here. Okay, 19, then you start back on the 19th again, and then you finish on the 9th of June. So we just back testing from January 30th of thing. So let's take a look at Well, and that's the trade. You can see from here, right? Well, we went in, and this trade we only hold it for 15 days. up to this level in here, that was a 44% return. And once you go through this, you will see there will be a series of winners, you'll see your losers, and the whole point is to simulate this to ensure that you all know how the market works. Okay, so eventually you come to a part where you need to calculate the win rate. All right, now you notice the win rate may not be like 90% or 80%, and this is one of the fallacy of a lot of the beginners. They always like to have high win rate. They want to win as high as possible. The average win per trade is very big. The average loss per trade is very small. Some of these situations do not mean ideal. Then we also talk about the commission. Okay, so we make it as realistic as possible. You can see from here, out from the 100,000, we only use up about 2,000 ringgit at 0.1% in, 0.1% out. So we done about 9 trades from the 3rd of January to the end date was the 12th of July, and that gives us a 12% return. The maximum drawdown was 14.4%, which means from our high to our low, we only lost back 14, but eventually we end up with a profit of 112,389 less all commission at a 12.4 thing. Not too bad for almost the last 6 months. So going forward, this exercise again we will continue to do. Right? Some of you, when you're ready, you can use real money. If not, you can just forward test this whole thing in here. So you can see compared to the small cap stocks that you have, if you would have hold it right from the day of January to now, you only made 3.2%. But if you trade in and out, considering the commission has a system in here, right? Just like what we did today, we have V Solar and we have SCGM. How would it fare, right? Because we have said before, the market has gone up, gone down, so we really don't know. And we are not in a job to predict the future. All we know is that there will be a trend and we'll continue to trade it. And there will be time when we win and the time we lose. So the VSA trading method in here, more important one somewhere is to do the back testing. When you back test, we look at the stage 2 beginning, as I said before, looking at the so-called Pentagon Guider with the back test that I'll share with you in here. A very quick way of just sharing with you that even if you trade different scenario, like you started on the 3rd, you started on the 6th, but you continue to replicate and trade, you can make a very decent 12% for at least the first 6 months in here. So so the point is that when you test, you need to know your profit, the number of trade, and so forth here. And then further to improve. Remember, this is like a time machine. You go back to the past, and if you have done those trades, how would it fare, right? And you've got 12%, that's pretty decent profit in here. And so some of the trades that if those of you don't have the VSA 360, no problem, you can also use the Smart Robie to test it, but you want to focus on the price level that you want to have. What is the range of the category? You got to work that out and then back test it in here. And of course, all those are some of the things that we teach in our live trading in here. If you want to join our premium membership, there's some information on join our trial here. Other than that, we are here to really support our members in and to share with you. Even last year in 2022, we can still make money despite not buying whole. We are just trading and giving the time frame that we have in here. So right now, we have come to the end of our presentation. So good, we finished within less than an hour in here. So do share this Telegram chat room QR code with your friend, those who will benefit there. Really appreciate. And we're going to look at a couple of shares right now in here. We have S Cream, ES Ceramic. ES Ceramic, that's a nice one here. Green Pentagon, you can see after 15 days the market shot up. Very good one, 67% return. Now don't ask me if you want to enter now. The best time to enter is the day after the Green Pentagon. Okay, if the market doesn't move after a while, just exit, look for something else. Yeah, okay, so you can see here we are using 15 days. We hold it 1. Okay, let me just pull it here from here, right? 15 days. This is 11, 14, 15 days. 76% return. That's a good one, isn't it? If you got into S Cream. Oh, but S Cream is above, what price is this? This is 18.5 cents. Okay, 18.5 cents in here. So if that's the range, you would have got this. Okay. We have another one, Perdana. So Perdana just turned Green Pentagon, I believe. Yeah, Then green, you got a lot of uptrust. The market took up this old higher. Still looks pretty good, right? This is because on the backdrop of higher crude oil prices, I think the price will be supported here. Okay, we have another one. All right, we got the YI on VIS. Now VIS, you got the uptrust. Market are pointing sideways, so watch out for it. Right, make sure you have the ATR stop loss standby in here. It has a double top. Okay, you can see double top here. Uptrust. I think the market most likely is just going to move sideways and come down, turn red pentagon. Because after you see uptrust, right, it must turn back very quickly, man. So that's why it's important for you to learn this kind of chart, yeah? Yi. Okay, any more? If not, we will stop here tonight. Thank you for your patron. Thank you for coming. I really enjoy sharing with you our backtesting process that we teach our member in here and the different periods so they can test it. So that way they will know what kind of trade works. As I said before, you can make money in 2022 and 2023 if you follow and have a system like what I've shared with you on our backtesting in here. All right, so that's all we have for tonight. Okay, we got another one. Echo Berhad. Yep, sure, I will do that one for ECON Malaysian share. Econ Power. Okay, this one green pentagon here. Now we can say market turn back. So this one, this will be lowest point because the pullback has come in, right? You can see, right? And just be ready again. If you come back 25 cents must break. Okay, this is a nice pullback. This will be your stop loss lah. Here. 22 cents. Because if you do break, tak boleh jalan anymore. And then you're just hoping. Okay? Alright, thank you again. Thank you for your company. I really learned a lot from our members here. And also the public. Thank you for sharing this video on timeline. I'll catch you on Friday for our breakfast show at 10:15 in here. Have a good night.